Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is a fun one today. I think it's an interesting thing. Again, it's one of those tendencies that I've seen with lots of players. With this one, what we're looking at is what the club is doing on the way down. Okay, so obviously we're trying to get the face relatively square coming into impact. Some players, when they try to square the face, so say you're a player that has the face a bit open coming in, or a lot open coming in, and then I say, okay, let's try to have the face look a little more square at that point, you know, to slightly close at that point on the way down. They typically, the first thing they try to do that is they move the club out this direction to try to square the face. Okay, so that's like tipping the club out in front of them to square the face. So you can see when I do that, the force along the grip is going this way. Okay, so I'm putting force like a sort of down on this left hand, and it's making the club shoot out in front of me. For some players that say I have the club behind, that's a really great move to do close to impact. But say it's happening up here, well, now the club's tipped out in front as you're trying to square the face, so that's going to also put you in a bit of a compromised position coming into the ball. So what we want to do is just sort of rework how you're squaring the face, and there's a fair amount of ways to do this. So for this player, what we did was we almost delay the idea. So when they're coming down, so the force, instead of trying to force it this way and square it early, we're trying to let the club still fall, so the force is going straight down the club this way, down the grip, versus across the grip, right, this way. Okay, so it's going down the grip, and then when I get to this position, say I was here, start paying attention to where that logo points. Okay, so now I'm trying to get the logo to point in front of me with the club still staying behind my body. Okay, so now the logo of my glove sort of points, instead of at the sky, it's pointing at the camera, but the club hasn't moved out in front of my body. Okay, so what that's going to do is it's going to put the club in a good position, put the face a lot more square at that point, and then from there I'm going to move the logo and have it, as I pivot and as my left arm moves around my body, the logo starts to point at the target. So if I'm hitting at the camera, I get to this position, it points away, I pivot my body and it starts pointing at the camera. That makes my face nice and square, and then I can continue to pivot through. Okay, where if I'm open face before, typically I'm going to see them do something with the hand, sometimes throw the right arm at it to try to square it up, where if I can square it, logo at the camera, club behind my back, and then pivot from there, I'm in a really nice impact position without overworking my hands. And also that also lets me continue to put force sort of down the club this way, versus if it gets out here, then I'm going to have to compensate and then really adjust what that handle's doing instead of letting it swing. So super important. If I demo it here, so I get up to the top, so as I come down, this would be, if I was trying to square it up, and that would be tipping it out too early, right? Then the logo almost points down, so I want to keep the club going down, logo points in front, and then from there I can pivot through, point the logo at the target as I continue to pivot. So when I do that, it helps me. I left the face just slightly open there because I was thinking about what this hand was doing, but that's a good way for you to keep pushing the pattern. I'll hit one more here, see if I can do a little bit more. So it's down the club, and then I'm trying to get that face to keep squaring up as I come through. So that was a lot better, launched more on my line. So that feeling at the start, especially if you're a guy like this or tipping it out early, it's going to actually feel like you're letting your lead arm and your chest rotate a lot more through. Obviously, lots of players I teach want to be able to rotate better through the shot. This is actually a big piece of that. So I hope this helps you. I hope this helps you hit some better shots and sort of get the club in a better position on the way down, with getting the face in a good position. Then you can start to use your body a bit more through the shot versus just sort of throwing your hands at it. I hope that helps. If you need any more help for your game, check out TommyGolf.com.